Hi, my name is CBissonnette, and this is my dispositions video for Foundations of Education with Grand Canyon University. I feel like the one disposition that I have that's probably my highest is the compassion, just the ability to care for students, care for coworkers, families, and have an interest in the community. For me, compassion is more than just sympathy, it's actual empathy, being able to really understand what people are going through and care about them. It's giving them encouragement, it's investing in their lives, it's speaking into their lives. All of those things I think incorporate compassion and just a genuine care for the interest of other people. In that same umbrella, I think another strong characteristic is advocacy, speaking out for the interest of other people. I think it's important, especially with students, especially younger students that may not be able to speak up for themselves, to be listening for cues, listening for things they talk about: school, friendships, family things. Under this, it's important to know confidentiality, as well as knowing if students share certain things that you are a mandatory reporter and that you do need to report those things to the authorities. I also think it's important for students to know they can be an advocate for themselves, to ask questions, ask for help, understand that those things are positive, creating a learning environment that encourages question asking, encourages them to learn how to advocate for themselves, because that's going to help them in the future, really, with their future learning. I also think that diversity is so important. I currently work with special education students, and I want them and all students to understand their value in the learning community, that we have differences and we have similarities, and those things can come together and be a celebration, and that our differences can be a learning experience and not a barrier to learning. And so I think it's really important to be sensitive to differences and to understand that we all have different backgrounds, different families, different learning styles, all of those things. And there's not a wrong way or a right way, that we can all come together and be a community and learn with each other and learn from each other. And I think that's really important. I also think honesty is obviously a value that we need to hold with high regard. I really believe that whatever you say, you need to follow through with, and that we shouldn't be making promises that we can't keep. If I talk to a classroom and they decide they'd rather have only chocolate milk served at lunch, I can help them make a proposal and bring that to the principal maybe, but I should never say that I'll promise that that's going to happen, because I'm not the authority that makes those kind of choices. So we need to make sure that we're being honest with students about what we know, and if we don't know something, we need to tell them, I don't know that, I'm going to have to look into that or investigate that further for you and come back with an answer. And we need to understand that that's okay, because honesty and integrity are what's going to build trust relationships with our students. I also think it's important that we have dedication to our work and professionalism. Those two things are really valuable. I think we need to have a good balance in our lives personally. We need to have good self-care practices. We need to have stress relievers built into our lives. Teaching is a profession that can be really stressful. We need to be taking care of ourselves so that when we come to school, we are dedicated to our job, not burnt out, and we are presenting professionalism in all that we do. We're on time. We have good communication skills. We take care of our appearance. We are as healthy as we can be, so that we can be there for our students and there for our coworkers. When it comes to things to work on, I think for me, reflection, curiosity, and high expectation, those are all things that I think are really valuable. I just haven't had a lot of classroom experience to really implement those dispositions. It is important that we evaluate ourselves, reflecting on both our strengths and our weaknesses, so that we can improve and see where we're meeting goals. It's important that we have curiosity, a desire to learn, collaborating with others, and realizing that we too are lifelong learners. And I think it's important that we have high expectations for ourselves and our students. I think we need to focus on positives in our classrooms. We need to set clear goals, easily reached goals, and expectations for our students to rise up to. In all things, we're influenced by family, culture, religion, values, and our own personal life experiences. And we do need to hold ourselves to high standards in the education field. In closing, I do believe that if we can touch students' hearts, then we can cultivate their minds.